Okay, so I just left the matinee for Crazy Rich Asians. And I have to say, I was pleasantly surprised. You know, I didn't really know much about the movie going in, and I know it's based on a book, but I found that out in the credits. I didn't do much reading or homework on this movie. I saw one preview a couple of weeks ago on another film that I went to see. And so I enjoyed the movie. It was funny. It was a lot like they took three movies. This is how I had to frame it in my head. They took three movies and they kind of put them all together. It's a mix between Pretty Woman, except the lead actress is not a prostitute. A mix between 50 Shades of Grey, except there's no sadomasochistic going on there. And then The Hangover. So you've got this one actress who played a character named Rachel, and her name was Constance Wu, and she's like the Pretty Woman character. She is like a fish out of water. She gets invited by her boyfriend that she's been dating for about a year to go to Asia to go to a wedding, and she doesn't know, she doesn't really know much about her boyfriend's family. And so, you know, when they go, she finds out that they're super rich, and he kind of hid it from her, so there's a little bit of conflict there. And but anyway, it's very much a Cinderella story. So when you've got the 50 Shades of Grey comparison, what I'm talking about is they're super, super rich. So I'm talking about, you've got the helicopters, you've got the mansions, you've got the high-rises, you've got the extravagant Great Gatsby type parties. I mean, it is like crazy rich in the movie, and which makes for a lot of beautiful eye candy. I mean, some of the locations were just crazy. So very much like 50 Shades, that kind of wealth. And then it had the comedy, The Hangover, because it's all about a wedding, and so you've got a guy who's getting married, and his best man is the character Rachel's boyfriend, and so there's a lot of hilarity that goes on between the groomsmen and then the brides, and so yeah, overall it was a very good film. Constance Wu was the actress again that played Rachel, and she was really good. You know, I don't really know if I've seen her in anything else. I'll have to check IMDb, but she was really good. There were two standout characters. There was a character named Oliver, played by a guy named Nico Santos, and anytime he was on screen, he stole every scene he was in. It was just that kind of character. It was well written, and he just knew how to work it every time he was in a room. And so as an actor, that was really cool because he stole the show in a lot of the scenes. And then there's another character named Peek Lin Gao, and she was played by an actress named Aquafina, and she stole every scene she was in. I mean, you couldn't take your eyes off her. She was like the comic relief in all the scenes that she was in. And same with the guy, with Nico, who played Oliver. There was just some really great banter anytime they were in a room. So, and you know, and to be fair, there's a lot of actors throughout the entire movie that did extremely well. There's even like a B story with this one character named Astrid, who I don't want to spoil too much, but anyway, it's a really good story that she has, and for the most part, it was a lot of fun. I laughed a lot, and there was this one line. Well, it's a spoiler, so I'll give you 2 seconds. 1, 2, okay. You could cut the video off, or you can keep watching. All right, here you go. So there's a montage scene, kind of like Pretty Woman, where the one character Rachel is getting into lots of dresses, and then she's got a full crew of people trying to get her into these dresses because she had to kind of upgrade her outfit because she didn't have, you know, an expensive dress to go to this ball, which is actually the wedding. But so she's getting on all these different outfits, and every time she gets this outfit on, this character Oliver's like, nope, that looks like blah 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 blah. Nope, that looks like blah 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 blah. You're not gonna like that. No, we don't want that. And then he said she comes out in this one dress that's completely rainbow all over the place, and he says, you look like a clown's tampon on a heavy month. And I lost it in the theater. There were quite a few other people laughing at that line too. So I hope I didn't spoil that moment. But that was really funny. It's just one of the lines that like stuck out throughout the entire movie. It's like, okay, that's your zinger right there. That's your one line. So yeah, it was just really good. And there was a lot of montages when they first go over to Asia, where they go to like an Asian market, and there's tons of food everywhere, and all these vendors that are making food, and it's explained in the movie that all the vendors have been there for years, and they pass on the traditions, and it's all these little tiny booths, and everybody's just, you see like a bowl of pho just getting slapped in there, and all these skewers, and everybody's eating and feasting, and it's a montage, everybody's having fun. And so the only suggestion I would say is make sure you have drinks and popcorn and candy and everything, because you're going to get hungry when you watch that scene. And there's another scene like that later on in the film with a lot of the catering that they do at the event. They just show all the food and blah, 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 blah. And you're going to get hungry again there. So make sure that you have enough food for the movie, because I definitely, and I don't eat meat. I'm a pescatarian. So like for me, I was still hungry looking at the stuff that was there. I mean, I get it. That I used to eat that food, and it used to taste really good. And so, yeah, if you're hungry, make sure that you have your food before you go in, because you're going to get hungry watching these scenes. And so, yeah, I thought overall the directing was great. All the characters had really nice equal amount of screen time. There was a couple of scenes that dragged, but it was the more dramatic stuff with Michelle Yeoh, who is the mother of the son, who doesn't really like the girl who's trying to, or who's with her son, and she kind of wants to break that relationship up. You kind of get that vibe from the previews too, so it's not like I'm spoiling anything there. But overall, I would say it's a fun movie. I think it's going to do really well. I think the budget was like $35 million, so rule of thumb, double the budget to break even, so it needs to make about $70 million to break even. I think it's going to do that plus some. I think it's going to be huge in the global market, so I think we're definitely going to see some sequels to some crazy rich Asians, and I think it's trending to be #1 at the box office this weekend. So I saw it today in a matinee, and I encourage you guys to go see it over the weekend if you want to see it. And if you have any suggestions or comments that you want to drop into the thread below, please jump in. And any suggestions of movies that you'd like me to review in the future. I plan on doing like a retro Thursday, throwback Thursday kind of thing, where I pick an old movie and do a review over it, so look forward to those. And that's it. That's the movie. So, Crazy Rich Asians in theaters now.